Hello, hello, friends. Welcome. I'm Robin with Zimmy Simple Designs. If you see the little red live light, you caught me live. If not, you're watching the replay. Please type in #replay. Say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. And let me know if you're new so I can welcome you to my page. Thank you all for coming in. When you do pop in, say hello. I'm going to find myself. Been a while, I know. Been a while, guys. It's been a while. We're gonna get myself sprinkled here. Hi, Tracy. How are you? How you been? I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Hello, hello, friends. And I'm not sure. People are popping in, but I'm not seeing comments just yet. So, I hope I'm going to see comments. I was when I was watching Cindy, but hi, Carolyn. Hi, Lori. How are you? How you been? Hi, Val. Okay, I've got myself in. Hi, Sharon. Hello, hello, everybody. Hi, Cynthia. Hello, hello. I'm hanging in there. I had to go to the doctor today because I caught a cold and I'm not seeming to get over it. And I wanted to get it caught before I didn't want to get bronchitis again. So I did go to the doctor. Fortunately, it has not gone to that. Hi, Chesney. But I have a whole cough. She did give me some cough medicine and I did take it. So hopefully I won't cough during my segment. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Patty. So, and she put me on an antibiotic. So she says, hopefully that will take care of it and it won't get any worse. Hi, Patty. Welcome, everybody. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Nancy. Hello, hello. So anyway, so that's why I didn't go live last week because I wasn't feeling the best. Hi, Linda. In fact, we did go over to my son's and I only stayed about an hour, long enough to about eat, and I came home because I felt so miserable. So anyway, but I have a little more energy today. Hi, Lisa. I've been really tired the last few days, but today I'm not quite as tired as I've been. So hopefully I'm on the downhill slide of it. Hi, Lori. Anyway, so what we're going to do, thank you, Sue. I got a hair in my mouth. What we're going to do is we're going to do a snowman's hat. And this wood kit is one of my wood kits. It is available. And you get these pieces. You get the hat. This is the brim. And you can either put it on like this, or I'm going to do it this way. We're going to make it the base and make it go this way so it kind of sets a little better. And then it comes with these two pieces for a cardinal. And I apologize, guys. I still cannot flip my camera. Still cannot flip my camera. So, and the cardinal comes with it. So if you are interested, just private message me. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Connie. So anyway, so this is what we're going to do today. I accidentally had my husband cut this out. I marked the wrong wood kit. I was supposed to cut something else out, and he cut this one out. I felt so bad. I made a mistake. So I told him, I said, it's okay. I'll use it. It'll work out. Thank you, Cynthia. All right. So we're going to get busy painting. And I am going to use, hi, Amy. Yeah, I'm sure I will, Sharon. I'm sure I will. Like I said, I was more worried it was going to turn into bronchitis again. That's why I went. We're going to use the Midnight. I usually don't use a dark black, but I'm almost out of my Crazy Crow, and I need to place an order with. These paints are chalk paints from Nicole with Afraid Not. If you are interested, I am an affiliate of hers. There is a link if you go to my About section in my to flip cameras for about a week. Valerie, mine's been a lot longer than that. I'm going on about 2 weeks, so I don't know. I may have to, I don't know what I'm going to try. I may try and uninstall and reinstall Facebook and see if that works. I don't know. Hi, Mary. But anyway, I am an affiliate of hers. If you go to my About section, in my link tree is the link to Afraid Not. Facebook, yes, it has been, Sharon. I agree. So that's all. The paints we're going to use all come from her. She has wonderful chalk paint. This one's Red Barn. That's what we're gonna paint our cardinal, and then we're gonna paint the cardinal's beak gold nugget. And she does offer bundles if you order 3 or more. If you order 3 paints and you put in bundle 3, all caps, no space between bundle and 3, you will get a discount. That same goes for bundle 5 and bundle 10. So if you are interested, go take a look. And she does have some. Hi, Lulu. How are you? Thank you for sprinkling, Sherry. Anyway, so we're going to get to painting here. Maybe. There we go. So how was everybody's Christmas? Hopefully it was wonderful. My daughter wound up getting sick too. She's got strep throat. So she's hoping that thank you, Lulu, for sprinkling. She's praying she doesn't give it to her daughters. She's got her daughters this week. So I am not going to chippy this, but we are going to sand it and give it some distressing. So, and I am going to paint the front and the back. And I probably should be painting. Hi, Gail. How are you? I should be painting the sides first here. We had it I did go over. It was a nice, quiet Christmas we had with our sons and our grandsons. But we went over yesterday to my other son's house, all of us, and she did like a birthday type New Year's Eve kind of birthday. It was nice. It was really nice. It was quiet, but it was nice. I wished I could have stayed longer, but it was okay. But we went over there yesterday to my oldest son's house and had lunch and played some games with my sons and my grandsons yesterday, and that was fun. We played a game where you had to blindfold your eyes, and then you had a spatula and you had to scoop the bows and put them on a plate and see how many you got blindfolded. It was quite interesting. And then the other one we played, well, she had drinking glasses that you put on your hands, and you had to pick up marshmallows with it and see how many marshmallows you could pick up in a certain amount of time. So the grandsons had fun watching us older people try and do these. They had fun. It was fun. It was kind of a nice, fun time. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Christine. Welcome, guys. And so it was nice. Kind of quiet and, you know, my kids called, well, my daughter called on our birthdays, and our grandkids that are out of state called us and wished us a happy birthday. And yeah, we had a very nice, kind of quiet week, but it was very nice. Yeah, they were fun, Cynthia. They were a lot of fun. You know, it's hard when you got little kids, you know, to find games that the little kids and the grown-ups can all play. And these were like that, you know, that grown-ups and kids could play. Because my grandsons are 5 and 4, soon to be 5 and 6. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. Yeah, my husband and I almost share a birthday. Mine's the 27th and his is the 28th. So, but we almost. Now I'm going to paint. This is the brim part. Like I said, you can do this. We're going to do it a little different than I've done before. I will post a picture of how I did it originally, along with a picture with how I'm going to do it today. But it was a nice, you know, sometimes it's kind of nice to have those quiet holidays when you're not with a lot of people. I was upset because I started getting sick on Christmas Eve, so I didn't get to go to church. Well, thank you, Cynthia. We go to Christmas Eve service, and my husband went ahead and went, but I was a little upset because I was looking forward to going, but I didn't want to, you know, go and. Oh, your grandson is the 28th? Oh, wow. Well, tell your grandson happy birthday. And he's 7, huh? My grandson's, well, one is the 4th of December, my daughter's little boy. And then my other 2, my son's boys, are in January. And they're really close together in January. So we have birthdays and holidays and, you know, all that stuff. All kind of clumped together. Hi, Shauna. Hi, Petra. How are you? But I would have to say, I made a dessert that Stephanie with the Vintage Pebble shared. And I did make it. It's called Sopapilla Cheesecake. And I made it for Christmas. It is really yummy. My husband absolutely loves it. I told him, I said, it kind of reminds me of a cream cheese Danish. But it's really good. Really good. So, and I don't have any plans for New Year's. We're going to stay home. I don't like getting out and all of that. Hi, Melinda. I think my comments stopped. I'm going to dry this January 2nd, Sue. Yeah. I can't remember. I think it's like around the 16th. And hi, Sam. How are you? Oh, how funny, Lori. Well, that's fun. Having them, isn't it? It's always fun having your grandkids. You stay home too, Cynthia? Yeah, I just don't, yeah, we just don't like getting out and all that anymore. When we lived in Arizona, we had a group of friends that we went to church with, and we would get together and have, you know, a get together on New Year's Eve. But we really don't have that. I mean, we have friends here, but not, I don't know. They do other things. A lot of them have their families here, so they go do things with their families. So not that our other friends didn't, but it was kind of our thing we would do every year. All right, so I'm going to move this out of the way, and we will paint up our cardinal. Get it painted, and I want it to go this way. And you could turn it either way. And we're going to paint it Red Barn. And I'm going to kind of, let me see. I think actually I'm going to start with the little beak. Yes, it is, isn't it? Sometimes you go out for a nice dinner on New Year's, Melinda. Yeah, that's not bad, is it? Go out early enough that you're not in all of that, but still kind of enjoy your New Year's Eve. My oldest son and his wife, their anniversary is on New Year's Eve. They got married, or I mean on New Year's Day. They got married on New Year's Day, and I don't know why I'm pouring out so much paint, because all I'm going to paint is a beak. Let me see here. Let me get a brush and put some of this back, because I got way too much out here. It's like, what are you doing, Robin? Yeah, my daughter-in-law did that on purpose. She picked New Year's Day because she's very forgetful with birthdays and stuff. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Diane. But she did it on purpose because she forgets birthdays, and she didn't want to forget what day she got married, her anniversary. So that's why she picked New Year's Day. Because she figured if it was on a holiday, she would always remember when she got married. So their anniversary is on Wednesday. Well, thank you, Cindy. Cynthia, thank you. I will let them know. And I could not tell you how many years they've been married. I'm bad about that. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Julie. How are you? All right, so we got the beak. I wanted to start with that, and then I'll paint the black on top, but that way I kind of have an idea of where I'm going to paint the red here. All right, now I'm going to paint the red on there. Hi, Brenda. Your son-in-law picked St. Patrick's Day. Oh, and it's your daughter's birthday. Oh, wow. Hi, Denise. Whoa, that came out fast. All right, I think I'm going to use the same brush that I used for the beak. So I'm going to clean this brush here. My other son, they got married in the summer. Well, they had a wedding in the summer. They actually got married February, I believe February 16th. They just went to the Justice of the Peace. And, but then they had like a wedding in the summertime and invited family. And we were, of course, we were living here. So we got to go and kind of got to celebrate that way. And then, of course, they had a reception and everything. But, so that was nice. So their anniversary is coming up as well. But I'm doing good if I remember how many years I've been married anymore. My memory is getting really bad. And I believe it's 43 years next year we will be married. In March. And I feel blessed to have him. I feel very fortunate to have him. We've had a good life together. So I'm just going to paint this up. I probably should have my glasses so I can see this better, but I'm going to sand it and get it rustic anyway. Oh, hi, Gwen. How are you? I was going to actually do another project, but I didn't because I went to the doctor and then I had to go to the Social Security office. I didn't really have enough time. Well, I didn't feel like I wanted to be out in the shop any more than I had to because it's kind of wet and damp out today. It's raining. So I didn't. But, so I have another project I'm going to do a little, maybe next week. I'm going to do it. So I'm good. I'm good. Well, I guess I could complain, but you know, what good would it? It wouldn't change anything. Then to 39. Yeah. Well, my husband and I got married. We had a quick, we were quick. I'd known him for years, but we didn't start dating until like September. And by November we were engaged. and by March, is it, Gail? By March we were married. So it was quick. But like I said, we'd known each other for several years before. Funny thing of it is, I had a friend, 73 in Texas. See, it's only in the 30s here. And it's very damp and cold and rainy. And in fact, it's going to drop down and we're going to get some snow tonight. But I had a friend who found out about my husband. And I'm not really sure how it all worked. But anyway, somebody she knew was trying to fix her up with my husband. And of course I told her, I said, well, I know him and I know where he hangs out, you know. And so we used to what was called Cruise the Deuce. Where I lived in Sholo, there was one main road through the town, and it was called the Deuce of Clubs. And so we would, you know, Cruise the Deuce. And usually that's what we would do. So I knew. You did? Oh, really, Cindy? No, I didn't have that, but so we were, hi Denise, how are you? So we were gonna drive through town to see if we could see him. Sure enough, we ran into him. And so I went over to his, well, it's actually a friend of his truck. They were together. Hey Thea, how are you? Merry Christmas, sweet friend. And so I went over to the truck because they were parked. Hey, Renee. And I went over and said, hey, I got this friend of mine that wants to meet you. So-and-so that you know has been trying to fix you up with her. And I said, could we sometime tonight meet up? So I was trying to fix him up with somebody else. It was about a month later that we started dating. So, you know, you just never know. Now I got to remember. We're going to freehand this. I'm going to do his face here. All right. Hopefully this will look okay when I'm done. Because I have no, you know, marks or anything, lines. Hi, Teresa. But I also went to school with his sister. His younger sister and I are the same age. And we graduated together. So I'd known him. He used to come in where I worked all the time and eat. He was a good guy. All right, so we've got the face painted up. So that's what he's looking like. And we're gonna dry that, and then we're gonna sand everything. How is Teresa? And I don't know if you guys know, I know that Lindy from Tater Buggin' and is it Beth from Rekindled Blessings lost, I think they both lost a dad. But Debbie with Tailored by Debbie, she's also part of Craft Around the Clock. She lost her brother suddenly. So if you guys could keep her in your prayers, that would be, she's got a lot on her plate. She's having to plan it and everything. So if you guys could remember and keep her in your prayers, I'm sure she would appreciate it. So now we got everything done, painted. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to get my sander, my little gator sander, and we're going to sand everything. Hi, Beth. Hi, Kathy. Welcome, guys. Thank you all for being here. So we're just going to use my gator sander, and we're going to give this some distressing. And I'm going to use white wax on this. I love how that looks on the black. It makes it kind of look, not distressed, but kind of like it has a dusting of snow on it, and I really like that. Catching up on work. Oh, from being on vacation, you had to go back to work today, huh, Teresa? Oh, my. Get this sanded, and I'm not going to take a whole lot off. Just give it a little bit, mostly around the edges. Yeah, they are, Teresa. They are. I think it's been a rough 2024. I know a lot of people are glad to see 2025 come. I know it's been rough. This month was really hard on me, and I'm kind of ready for 2025, that's for sure. But, you know, as they say, God will only give you, He will only give you what He knows you can handle. And if He will take you to it, He will take you through it, right? So, and I know sometimes in the midst of it, it's hard. Do you? Well, that's good, Teresa. That's good that you like what you do. Oh, gosh. I was hoping to not do that. Yep. So, I know it's always hard when you're in the midst of it. Hello, Kelly. Hi, Peggy. I'm going to sand this edge, and I'll sand the back of it. And I'm only doing the back of it because, you know, as a shelf sitter, freestanding, I want it to look, you know, nice on the back. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing? How are you, sweet friend? I've been thinking about you. All right. My daughter sent a video of our grandson. He was so excited with and I didn't paint the back of it. That was really crazy. So that wasn't, you know what? Real quick, I better paint this. I guess I wasn't paying attention, was I? I didn't do a very good job, did I? Doing too much, hi Christy, too much talking and not enough paying attention. I'm sure it has, Michelle. Hopefully they figured out, or will figure out what happened with your little fur baby. So I know that's hard. Hey, Karen, how are you? So real quick, we're going to give this a paint, or a coat of paint. I can't believe I did that. But yes, I can. You know, being off for a week, you know. I was working on a project before I came live, and I messed up with that one too. So, yeah. I had to redo it, and, well, I'm not getting very much paint. Yes, Karen, it was. The 27th was my birthday. It was. It's funny, I had to go grocery shopping that day, and I used to work at the grocery store where I was shopping at, and there was one of the gentlemen that I worked with seen me, he, you know, said hello, and pretty soon he stopped and he looked at me and he said, "Is it your birthday today?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh," he said, "I thought so. Happy birthday." He said, my son's birthday's today. He turned 20 today." I'm like, okay, I wish I was 20, but you know, yours was the 27th too? Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday. All right. I think somebody else posted that their birthday was on the 27th. But I can't remember who. All right. I had a niece whose birthday was yesterday. Okay, now we got both of them. Oh, thank you, Teresa. Yes, it was, Cynthia. He's a really nice guy. Most of the people I worked with there I enjoyed working with. Did you? Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Karen. You're always so sweet to comment and sprinkle my stuff out. Of course, I appreciate all of you for this past year and getting me where I am. It's been an amazing year for for my page and what I've been blessed with. It's just, I'm just in awe. And I know it's because of your guys' support and being there and watching my lives and sprinkling me out and just, yeah. All right, so now we got that side painted. All right, and we'll give it a quick sand. Alrighty. Okay, there we go. That's good. Oh, well, thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate that. I really do. My husband and I were talking about it, and he stress and me being sick all the time, and he says, maybe it's the stress of you going live, and do you think about cutting back, you know, since you'll be starting to draw on or Social Security? And I said, well, I hadn't really thought about it. And I said, I love going live and spending time doing this and inspiring others. It just brings me so much joy to be able to do this. Hi, Amanda. It really does. If anything, it helps me with the stress. All right, get this done. Okay. It just makes me happy when I see something that I made and somebody else does it. It just really, I just like being able to inspire you guys to be creative. All right. Give it a little bit more here on this edge. Hi, Gail. Well, thank you, Gail. I'm glad I do. I'm glad I do. Yeah. That's what keeps me going with it, you know, is being able to do that. All right. So now we're going to do, in fact, I actually am going to change the sandpaper out. Because with this being black, sometimes it... Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Diana. That's sweet. I appreciate that. And I know watching others, well, I'm glad, because that's what I want to do, is to be able to kind of teach, you know? All right. Sometimes I find that when you do a dark color or light color on your sandpaper, if you go to sand another color, it will leave black on there, and I didn't want to do that, so that's why I changed it. Well, thank you, Gwen. You guys are going to make me. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Thank you all for your kind words. I appreciate it. All right. So we'll get this sanded up, and then I'll clean my mess up. just kind of wiping this off. Hi, Julie. And this piece, our little cardinal will get done. I do have another wood kit I'm getting ready to come out with, and I'm in the works of maybe doing another one, so hopefully within the next week or so I'll be bringing those out. Hey Jamie, how are you? Oh, well, thank you, Gwen. Yeah, we try. My husband's not a sander, so he leaves that all up to me, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it. All right. Get him sanded. Just a little bit off his face there. Okay, so we got everything sanded up. It's going to be like a Valentine angel, but you could do it. I'm hanging in there, Jamie. How are you? I was good to see you last night. I'm glad you were feeling better. And the other one is gonna be kind of like a primitive lamb or sheep or whatever you. All right, so we've got everything sanded and cleaned off. I think pretty well cleaned off. All right. So I'm gonna decide which side I want. That's still got stuff on it. All right. So, all right. So I'm gonna decide which side I want the front and which one I want the back here. And I think I like, well, they're both about the same, but I think I'm gonna do this side. Yeah, and actually I'm gonna take this down just a little bit more. Let's give this a little bit more of distressing. I'm gonna have to order some glue. I think I like that better. Hey, Mary. Hanging in there waiting for the, yeah, I hear you. All right, that's a little better. I like that a little better. All right, we're gonna put this on here, like I said, this way. But you could do it the other way. You could put it on there this way if you want. So I'm gonna do it, kind of make a little base for it. So I'm gonna, I've got some fabric, some homespun, this green homespun, and we're going to, thank you for sprinkling, Karen. Hi, Gloria. Yeah, I hope you feel better soon, Jamie. All right, we're gonna wrap this around and make a little hat band. And I'm gonna move it over this way. And then we're gonna put a bow on it and add some greenery and all of that stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and do this before I put my white wax on here. Actually, maybe I won't. Maybe I will go ahead and wax it real quick. We'll do this part. And I may add some, and this is just Dixie Belle Best Dang wax, and it's white. Yes, I am. Yeah, I decided to do it first. And I may do the front back. I'll just do the front right now, and I didn't need to go down this far. And then after the live, you guys, I will do the back of it. But we're gonna get this around here. And I love this on here. Like I said, it looks kind of like there's a dusting of snow. And I'm just gonna kind of bring it down around a little too. in places, not just on the edge, to kind of make it look like there's, you know, snow on his hat. Hi, Brenda. How are you today? And I'm just brushing this on. Real quick, like, yes, my dog's playing with her ball. She's got her ball. There we go. And I'm gonna add just a little in here, maybe. I miss Brenda. I think I might have been at the doctor's office then. We're just gonna add a little in places. Just kind of make it look, you know, like there's snow on here. And then I'll probably, thank you, Jamie, for sprinkling. We're gonna add some around the edge. We're gonna just kind of hitting it. But see how that looks? I like that. And I may add some more, but for now. So we're gonna do that. And then I'm gonna add this on here. But I think I'm going, let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm trying to think how I want to do this. If I want to get everything on there and then, yeah, I think I'm going to get everything on here and then I'll glue the two pieces together. That might be the easiest. So we're just going to hot glue that down. I'm gonna put a little bead of glue here. Just like that. Thank you, Cynthia. Teresa, you thought I squeaked? No, it was my dog. She, for some reason, a lot of times when I go live, that's when she decides she wants to play with a ball. And we have two of them. One, the squeaker works, the other one doesn't. And she obviously found the one that the squeaker still works in it. Come on. Pull that up just a little. All right. And I'm doing it here because I'm going to put a bow here and we're not going to see this. So. We won't see this seam when I'm done. Well, by the time we get the greenery and stuff, we shouldn't. So did anybody go to Hobby Lobby and get in on the good deals? I haven't even been. Yes, I squeak. You guys didn't know that? Yeah, she's just like a child. She finds her ball, and that's when she wants to play with it. She wants nothing really to do with it. They've got another stuffed toy. Neither one of them really play much with toys. Every now and then they'll get the ball. But they've got another lamb, like stuffed toy, that neither one of them play with. I got it for Sadie before we had Dolly. Sadie didn't want nothing to do with it. They use it as a pillow. All right. So that's what we have so far. And guys, I know I'm probably not going to get this done, but I will take a picture. And we're going to use that same green and some of this lace just to make a bow. And I forgot to grab my jute rope. Actually, I think I was going to use this. That's why I didn't. Never mind. I have a thin piece of this green, and I think I'm going to cut it and use it to tie our bow. And I'm going to keep this other little piece, and we're going to use it for our tag. All right, get my Bodabra. Yeah, dogs are funny, aren't they? Just like little kids. All right, we're going to start. And I may not use both these pieces of lace. Hi, Donna. But I will take a picture of this. I will post it. Finished. I know, I'm slow, guys. I'm sorry. All right. What are you doing, Dolly girl? And I got my husband brought the ladder in. Now I just got to find a place for it. He got some old ladders and he sanded them down and to make quilt racks out of them. And he brought mine in the other day. I just need to find a place. I thought I had the perfect spot for it, but if I put it there, I'll have to move a picture because it's pretty tall. But my daughter-in-law had hers up in the corner with quilts on it. It looked really cute. I should have taken a picture of it. Yours are snoring. Well, mine were snoring up until just a minute ago. And then one is still snoring. All right, I'm going to add this green. And these aren't very big, so I got a couple pieces here. Guys, thanks for spending some time with me today. And if you haven't joined Craft Around the Clock yet, make sure you join. Make sure when you do join that you do answer the questions. Otherwise, you won't be approved. And it's just, you know, just to help keep the unwanteds out. Or the riffraff, or however you want to say that. So, but if you join, there's crafting pretty much 24 hours. Trying to decide if I want to add this other piece of lace. Maybe what I might do is cut it in half and just use half of it because it's kind of a long piece. And put it on top. And you can go in there and see creators from past events, but they craft clear up until the late night. So, and there are other, on the weekends, usually there's other events that get streamed in there. So there's always something going on in there. Always. And hopefully I can tie this tight without breaking it. All right. I need to fix that. I don't want it all. It's kind of all twisted up. There we go. There. Hi, Linda. Hi, Jackie. Okay. We'll trim it up. And we'll get it all fluffed out here. Best I can. I usually do better once I get it on the project. Oh yeah, that's good bow. That's kind of the right size, I think. And it will go there, and then I'll add the cardinal on top. And I'm going to add some greenery on this too. Hi, Melissa. So I'm going to glue this, and I'm going to use my Tight Bond and my Stick Fast to glue this, the wing on. And we'll add an eye to this cardinal here. So I still need to do that. I think I've lost comments. Hi, Brenda. How are ya? Okay. Just like that. Okay, and I will use this to glue the hat together also. Let's get some, I'm just going to use some angel, and we're going to add a little eye. I'm just going to use the back of a paintbrush here and give our cardinal an eye. Maybe. I haven't used this in a while. And I went to the store the other day and I forgot to buy wet wipes, so I'm all out of wet wipes. So let's try and shake this up so I can get some paint in the lid. You guys, thank you for being here, spending some time with me. I appreciate it. And I may not go live this week again. It'll all depend. So if I don't, you guys have a wonderful, hope you all have a wonderful New Year's. Add an eye. Dry this just a little bit. And I will probably add some brown wax to this to get him a little, give him a little grunge. So that's what he's looking like. Because, you know, that's what I like. I like my, and I just used the Bare Dark Wax. Well, Happy New Year, guys. Thank you, Chesney. Get my brush here. Yeah. And I'm going to go around, and we're going to go around these edges really quick. And then I'll get this together. I'm trying to watch my time here. And I'm not sure. I meant to go look to see who's up next. So I'm not sure who it is. But stay, just hit refresh. If there is one. I believe there is, but I'm not sure who is next. So, but you just stay in the group and hit refresh, and the next creator will be there. I might stay up till midnight. I'm sure, depending on how, well, it doesn't matter. Here in Iowa, on New Year's Eve, people can set off fireworks. So I'm sure, even as chilly as it is, people will be out there setting off fireworks on New Year's Eve. It's amazing. All right. Yeah, we gave him a little grunge. I like him a little better. So added that little bit of grunge. But you guys have Happy New Year. Thank you all so much for your amazing support this past year. And I'm really looking forward to 2025. And you guys have a wonderful, blessed rest of your day. Bye.